Hello, hi everyone. Thank you for joining. Thank you so much for joining. So you are welcome to today's webinar. It's the second webinar this week for the business development focus area. And if you're joining, you are in the right place because we're about to talk on business models. So just you can use the chat to introduce yourself, where you're joining from, as we give like 2 more minutes for more of the participants to join. Thank you so much for being on time. We really appreciate your dedication to the program. Hello, good day, everyone. So you're welcome. We're just giving an additional 1 minute for more of the participants to join, and then we'll kick off immediately. This webinar is for the business plan focus, and we are talking on business models today. So if you are here for that webinar, I would say you're in the right place. So just hold on and we'll start in a very short while. We have our presenter here with us, and she's really excited to speak with you all. Thank you. You're welcome, Musa. You're welcome, Henry. Thank you. So keep introducing yourself in the chat as we start the webinar now. Okay. Thank you all so much for joining on time. My name is Success Eugene. I'm the Leadership Skill and Development Coordinator for WMI, based in Nigeria, from Nigeria. And today I'll be moderating this webinar. I want to encourage you to be very engaging, as I see you introducing yourself in the chat already. So while the webinar is ongoing, please also use the Q&A to ask questions, or the chat to ask questions, and we'll be glad to attend to it. I want to use this short moment to also talk about the pitch. So I would always mention the pitch because it's very important. We have just 2 weeks window when the registration for intent to participate starts, and it's expected that if you really want to be part of the pitch, that you register in these 2 weeks and you get an opportunity to submit your pitch by November 30th. So that is something that is coming up. You would be informed. No one will be kept in the dark for this, so look out for it. And I also want to let you know that this webinar is the business model. We're talking about the business model, choosing your business model, and it's strictly for the business plan development focus. So if you're in that group, you're in the right place, and we'll be talking about it shortly. If you have not been attending the webinars prior, you must have been receiving emails, so please attend to those emails prior to the deadline that were assigned in the emails. We are responding to your emails as they keep coming, okay? So I want to shortly introduce our presenter for today. We have Joyce Azuma, and Joyce Azuma is the founder of Witty Innovation Consult, a business consulting and IT solutions company, and a financial literacy advocate. She specialized in business planning and development, financial modeling and business valuation, entrepreneurship training, and raising capital and investment funding for businesses. Having worked with quite a number of SMEs in Ghana and beyond, Joyce noticed the common problem of business collapsing and shutting down right after the death of their owners, and she's currently on a mission to provide a solution to this problem by pushing for business succession planning and setting up right business structures. Joyce wrote her first book, The Solopreneurs, which is a guide to succession planning, and it provides an easy way for business owners to plan for the future of their businesses. She's also set to launch the first AI-enabled and personalized financial education mobile app as a strategy to push financial education, especially for business owners. Joyce is a one-time TEDx speaker and a Tony Elumelu Foundation alumni, and a winner of 2 pitching competitions, including the maiden edition of the Volta Fair Pitch Competition and the Entrepreneurship Jobs for All pitch competition. She is interested in building a community of thriving global businesses that transcends generation and making an impact in the entrepreneurship space. So a very good portfolio, very excellent portfolio there for Joyce Azumah, and she's here with us and she's really excited to meet you all. So Joyce, if you can turn on your video and so everyone gets to see you. And in the meantime, please keep the Q&A, the box engaged, and keep the chat box engaged if you have any questions. Over to you, Joyce. Thank you so much.
Hi guys, it's so good to be here, and I don't know how to start. When Success approached me for this webinar, I was thinking, well, where did she get to know me from? But I guess that hearing her talk about my profile, it's kind of like feels exciting that my work is being recognized, and I am very, very honored to be a part of this meeting here. I see people from all over Africa, Liberia, Sierra Leone, Nigeria, Uganda, and I am more than South Sudan. Wow. So excited about it, because then I get to interact with people from different backgrounds, and then I get to know how they are running their businesses wherever they are in their countries. Have you lost me, or I'm still here? Success, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Yes, please.
Yeah, okay. All right, so since we have only 1 hour, my presentation is very short. Usually when I have webinars, I want to have a very engaging session, so that even after everything, you are able to remember 1 exercise or 2 exercises that will stay with you. So I'm not going to be talking for long. My presentation, I will try and have it under 20 minutes, and then we'll use the rest of the time to practice and to get to know each other. That is also very important, the networking part. So thank you, and we start with this, choosing a business model. Well, this is the English definition. Now, I'll try and break it down for all of us to understand. Even those of us who don't understand business English, I have a background in, I can't see myself. Success, can you see me? Success, no. Can you see? But you can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you.
Ah, okay. Well,
and continue. I can see you too.
Good. I know it's kind of messy. So. Now, a business model explains how a company makes money. I didn't want to go for the very long definition, so I separated this into just 3 key elements that your business model should have. But then, what is a business model? If we are going to have this in an order of what you should have before the other, my order here is not correct. Business model, it explains how you make money out of your business, how you deliver value to your customers, and how you are able to stay operational. Now, the reason why I said the arrangement is wrong is that you'd have to have your customers first before you can make money out of the business. So the first thing you should be looking at is how you do your customer acquisition. And then the revenue generation comes, how you're going to make money out of those customers that you have. And then now you focus on the operational efficiency, how the business should continue running whilst you serve your customers. So I don't know if you get it, but the explanation of a business model is simply how you are able to acquire customers, get customers for your business, the different how do you call them, different channels and ways through which you can get customers. The second thing, how you make money out of the business, which is how you generate revenue, and then how you are able to stay operational, which is the operational efficiency. Now, there are several different kinds of business models depending on the type of business you're running. Liz, can we go to the next slide, please? And here I have only 4. Actually, it's more than 7, 10, but I put this one down because they are the most common of them. We have product-based business models. And this one is for those who are selling products. If you're selling cosmetics, you're selling food, groceries, you're selling clothing, you are going to use one of the product-based business models. An example of a product-based business model is direct sales. So you have your shop, customers walk into your shop, and then you sell to them directly. And then there is also wholesale and retail. You are selling to other people, and then those other people are selling to the final customer. So this one, you're not selling directly. You are going through other people, and that one could be wholesale. You are selling at a wholesale price or a retail price. So those are the 2 examples of product-based business models. And then we have service-based business model, which means that you're not selling anything tangible. For example, I do business consulting. Business consulting is not a product-based, it's service-based, because I am exchanging my time for money from clients. So an example of a service-based business is what I do, consulting or coaching. And so we have consultants in different fields, not only business. We have health consultants, we have IT consultants. Anything that has to do with you exchanging your time for the client's money is service-based. And then we also have software as a service, another example of service-based business model. Software as a service business model. Software as a service example, HubSpot, if we know HubSpot, or Zoho. Zoho is a platform where you can get your accounting done, your customer relationship management done, and they are giving you access to their software as a service to you as business owners. So you are a business owner, you go there and use their services, and then you pay them money based on subscription. Then we have platform-based business models. This one is mainly focused on how do you call it? Websites, IT businesses. So they have a platform. You go there. Example, a marketplace. A common example that comes right off my head is Jumia, because Jumia is a lot more popular in Africa. Jumia is a marketplace where you go and order online, and then they bring it to you. So it's on the platform. You buy from the platform. There, and then you can also subscribe there on the platform. They are offering you something free, freemium models. They're offering you something free, and then when you want something extra, then you pay more. That's an example of a platform-based business model. And then the last one is a social enterprise, where you are running a business as a hybrid. It's for profit and then not for profit, because the profit from the business is being used for a social cause. That's for the social enterprises. Now, let's move on to choosing the right business model. So the discussion started with what a business model is, and then we explained that there are different kinds of business model. And if you want to choose between any of the 4 that I have mentioned, you would have to look at your business in particular, and then measure it according to these 5 things that I have listed here. I'm not sure if the slides will be shared with you. It should be shared with you because this is a practical example of what you should be doing when you are developing your business model. So first thing you have to look at is the industry. What are the models that are commonly used in your industry? If you are in the tech industry, the most common ones are subscription to a tech product or software as a service. As for tech people, software as a service is number one, and then we go to subscription, where you pay. I think AWS has subscription. You pay monthly for hosting on their system, something like that. So looking at your industry, if you're in the fashion industry, would you want to go for direct sales so that you are selling directly to your customers? Or would you want to go for wholesale or retail? We are giving to you are giving to people who will also then sell to your final consumer. So the industry matters in this case. Look at the business model that is being used in your industry, commonly used. We'll talk about business model innovation, which is a way of you differentiating your business model from all others. But then you have to take one of the models in the industry in order for you to innovate on. Then you also look at the market needs. What are your customers' needs and how does your business model meet them? A lot of businesses are operating, a lot of business owners are operating based on what they think the customer wants, not what the customer needs. So much so that whatever product or service you are offering is not serving a solution for the business, for the customers, for the customers. So you don't get customers buying from you. It's probably because what you are offering is not of value to them. So how does your business model meet their needs? Then we move on to the revenue streams. How will your business make money out of the business? We're going to draw a lot more on this later on, but how are you going to make money now out of that business model? Those who are doing subscription means that people are paying like $10 a month, $15 or $300 a year to subscribe to use their software. Those who are selling directly, you are giving the product to your customer, you're taking your money back. That's how you're making money. But then those are the means of making money. But how will you make money? What are you offering to the customer? How are you offering it? Another example that comes to mind is having products with other complementary products. It's a way of making money of your business. So that, for example, if you're selling beauty products, somebody comes to buy body cream, then you also sell facial cream or hand cream in addition at a discount. It's a way of making money out of your business. And I really wish that I could know what your business is so that I would tailor my examples to that. But I hope we are all getting what I'm saying. And then we move on to the scalability, which, I mean, when they were reading my profile, we talked about sustainability, which is the last one, but these two are linked. The scalability of the business. There is something that is, people say that some businesses grow too fast. If your business grows too fast and you do not have the systems in place to keep the business running, your business will collapse. If your business grows too slow, the same thing happens. So now you're going to have to look at the scalability of the business. How fast do I want my business to grow, and do I have the systems in place for the business to grow to that extent. For example, you have a web-based platform, maybe a website. Let me make it simpler. A website, and then your website can only have 1,000 visitors a day. Then one day, everyone gets to know about your platform, and you have 20,000 people coming to your website. How is your system going to withstand that? I think that is more practical for the IT people. Some of the systems crash actually because it cannot handle that many users. So can your business model grow as your business grows? That's another thing you should ask yourself. And then the last one, your business model, is it financially and operationally sustainable? Can you keep making money out of it continuously? And can it keep operating continuously? And for the operations, we are looking at your HR. Is your HR in place? Is your business system in place? Your business processes. Okay, so today when we come, we will take stock from this supplier and we are supplying to this client. That is a simple business process. How is your process going to be sustainable over time? Moving on. Yes, innovative business models. When you want to build an innovative business model, the first thing you should be looking at is your customer. So all the time you are thinking about choosing a business model and then building it for it to work for your business, you should have your customer in mind. I wrote a customer-centric approach, which means that everything you are designing, from your resources, your activities, how you're going to make money, your cost, because if your cost is very high, it means you're going to be charging very high. And then how do you call it? If your customers are people who are price sensitive, your business model is not going to work because your costs are high and they won't buy your products or service. So your customer should be in your mind whilst you work on all the other aspects of your business model. Then luckily for us, concept number 2, we have technology to help us. So for our operations, you're using how do you call it? Technology. We have a lot of customer relationship management systems. I mentioned Zoho for your accounting. You just go there, put your accounts there. It gives you a professional end of year financial statement, which means that now you don't have to pay like more money to get an accountant to do that for you. To utilize technology for operational efficiency, those who are into product buying and selling, you should have a system in place where you have records of everything you bought, everything you've sold, everything that has been returned, plus their prices. That is how you're able to know whether you're making profit or not. So 2 things to keep in mind when you want to be innovative in designing your business model. First, think about the customer and what the customer wants. No, not what the customer wants, what the customer needs. And then you use technology to be more efficient, and the efficiency comes in a way when you are able to reduce cost, or when you are able to deliver value faster and easier to the customer. Now we look at the different tools that you can use to develop your business model. I have written 3 of them. We have a lot, but I want to focus on the 3. The first one is a business model canvas, which we are going to spend a lot of time on, going through the different sessions, so that by the end of this session, you have your complete business model canvas with you. So the business model canvas is just a graphical representation of your business on one page. Now, if you look at this one, could you please go to the next slide? The colors, we can see the different colors, okay? And we have 3 different colors. The reason why I did this is because we mentioned 3 things in the beginning, that whilst you are developing a business model should have your customer, your revenue generation, and then your operational efficiency. 3 things. So these 3 things are being represented here with the different colors. For the revenue generation, you are looking at your cost structure and your revenue streams. We are going to explain all of this in the next few minutes. Then your customer, where you are focusing on the customer, you have the value proposition, what you are offering the customer that is very different from what your competitors are offering to the customer. Then your customer relationships, how are you managing your relationship with your customers? The channels, how are you getting your product to your customer? Is it through the internet? Is it through direct sales? That's the channel. How are you reaching your customers to advertise to them? Personal sales, digital marketing, social media. Those are the channels. And then the most important thing, the customer segments. We're going to explain this. I don't want to go deep into it. And then the third thing, looking at the operations side. So the pink is representing your operations. The blue is representing your customer. And then the yellow, orange, whatever that is. So your operations has your key partners, your key activities, and then your key resources. The activities are what you do on a day-to-day basis with your business. Your resources are what you need. And then your partners, we all understand partners. Who are you partnering with for the business to work? Then, okay, my next slide says let's practice, but I would want to explain the rest of the 2 types of business modeling tools before we do the practice. Okay, so please go to the Lean Startup methodology. The Lean Startup methodology is also another way of developing your business model. And it says that you should develop the minimum product for your clients, give it to them, get their feedback, reiterate, work on it, and then give it back to them. And anytime I talk about the Lean Startup model, I use this example of a company that wanted to have a system where they take people's old used phones and then give them back brand new phones, old phones plus some money, and then give them back, new phones. So what they did when they wanted to start, what they did was that they had just something like a carton, wrote on it, bring your old phones, add and it's this amount, and then get a brand new phone. And then put it at vantage points in town. Now, these people, if I would say they spent anything trying to develop that, it's just getting the cartons and then getting the cartons to their locations and then probably paying people to stay with those ones. But that is a very simple way of starting a business. So that when people don't bring their old phones, you know that the business will not work. So, and you haven't spent so much money, or I wouldn't call it waste, but you haven't spent so much money trying to get the business to the ground. And the best thing is also that you are able to get to hear the ideas from customers, what they think about your business. So my own example, I'm developing a financial literacy app, and the app is, this is not an advert, this is an example. So it is an AI enabled app, and when you enroll on the app, you get to put in your demographics, your age, what you do, all of that, your income level and all of that. Then the app gives you financial advice, financial education, investment advice, anything you need based on your profile. So it is personalized, so that somebody who is a student is getting information that is tailored to students. Somebody who is giving, somebody who is a working male that has a family gets different information. Now that is the vision of the product. But right now, what I have is just the signing in. So I'm going to put that out there, try to get people, and then get to see, what do people think about this? Get their feedback, put it back into the app to make it work. That's how the lean startup model methodology works. It's very simple. It's a very go out there with the simplest version of your product. Mostly it works with tech products, because you can't, if you are sewing a skirt for someone, for example, you can't say you're sewing the band and then showing to the customer, see if they like it. It mostly works for tech businesses, but then the business model canvas works for all kinds of businesses, and that is what we will be working on. So let's look at examples, and then we'll have practicals. I don't have an idea. Yes, please, let's go back to the Uber business model. Let's run through it quickly. And then we will have, we all know Uber. We will have one of us tell us their business idea or their business, and then we will use that to develop a business model, which means that one person is going away with a complete business model canvas before the meeting ends. So the Uber business model. So if Uber, we all know Uber, you order for a ride, they come and pick you to wherever you are going. Their value proposition, which is where you should start from, is that you are going to, for drivers, easy to get started, you have an opportunity to earn money, it is easy for you to access more passengers because the passenger is directly ordering from you, and then you have the freedom to choose whenever you work. Then for riders, the customers, you are safe and secure. There are lower prices than taxi services, which is true to that today. When I went to town and came back, Uber was way lower than what the taxis were charging me. And it's convenient. I think that most businesses, if your business will work, you should be looking at offering convenience to your customer and ease of use of your product. It should be so easy to use, and it should be very convenient. And these people are offering that. I'm not sure. I don't think we should run through all this. This example is just there to guide us. And if you get the slides, you can just look at it and how they did it. But it's 2:34. Somebody should give me a business idea. Or any questions so far? Should I take questions? Sasa, should I take questions now, or should I finish and then
Okay,
how do you do it?
We take questions like 15 minutes to the end. So we start questions. Yes, we don't have questions now in the Q&A in the chat. So if we can get a business idea, we can walk through that as an activity before questions.
Okay. Okay, so please, learners, let's have one person give us their business idea or what the business the person is working on, even if it's already in operation. The good thing about business models is that it's you can change things to suit what is going on in real life. It's not like a hard and fast rule that when you write that this is what I'm going to do, that's what you should stick with. When the opportunity comes for you to change things, you should change it. That is what innovation is about. So let's have an idea. The fact that they don't have questions, it kind of makes me uncomfortable because like
no, actually
it means that they're not understanding what I'm saying. Like I'm just talking.
So we have one question from Paul Vagere, and he's asking, he says, "Hi Joyce, I'm running a departmental store with groceries, electronics, and cosmetics." So that's his business idea, I guess.
Okay, so we're going to use Paul's idea. Paul, thank you for that. We are leaving with that. The others are not minding me. Why?
Oh, no, they are minding you. We still have Imran who raised his hand. No, we have Imran who raised his hands, but we can attend to Paul first. Then if time permits, we look at Imran.
Okay. Oh, all right. That's the part that excites me. I always want to engage the people so that I get to hear their minds. But yeah, okay. So Paul, your idea is that, let me see, departmental store with groceries, electronics, and cosmetics. Okay. So we are starting with the customers, like I said. Our first question, for whom are we creating value from? And unfortunately, the writing on this example is like very small. So I had to rewrite everything with my pen. So probably by the end of the session, by the end of the day, I should put the question, rewrite these questions together so you can have them and then share with them. So the first thing, Paul, since you brought your idea, you are going to be contributing, all right? Who are you creating value from? Let's look at your customer profile. Your customer profile. So we are looking at their demographics, their location, their age group, location, probably their income level, their interests. What are they interested in? That's what you should be thinking about when you're thinking about customer segments. So for a departmental store with groceries, I'm not going to answer the question, so please let's have answers. If you understand what let me call people. Oh, so yeah, John, please go ahead. Your hands are raised, right?
I want to know about a non-profit business that one can engage into. Example, is it possible for me to run a non-profit business with the business model you just explained on? If it is possible, I want to get some.
Oh, yes, it's of course it's possible, and okay, I will talk about that, but right now I wanted us to use how do you call the other person? Sorry, I forgot your name. Paul. Yes, Paul. I wanted us to use Paul's example to run through it. John, I will answer your question, okay, about the non-profits. Of course, you can use the business model for non-profits. Let me write that down. So we are looking at the customer profile for customer segments for Paul's departmental store. So for example, we are looking at people, and when you are, let me state this very important thing. When you are developing your business model and you're looking at the customer segment, you are designing the customer segment based on who can pay you, not who is using the products. For example, if you are selling things for kids, the kids are not the ones paying you, their parents are. So your customer segment should be the parents, not the kids. If you want to have a profile for the kids to help you in product development, that is fine. But The person who is paying you is the customer. So when you are designing profile for a kid product, you are targeting the parents. So you are looking at parents between the ages of 20 and 60. They are living in this part of South Sudan, and their income level is between, what currency do we spend there? I'm sorry. Their income level is between 100,000 and 150,000. They are interested. I can find this group of people on Facebook or at these networking events. That's where I can meet them and market my products to them. Or parents-teacher association. You use Sudanese pounds. Thank you. I've learned something new today. That's why it's good to ask questions, which you are not asking me. So I will find the parents here, maybe at this networking event, at a parent-teacher association meeting, something like that. So that is your customer segment. And we always advise that you go deep into getting to know your customer, especially their interests and even their behavioral traits. Now, are your customers people that are price sensitive? If they are price sensitive, you can't sell something with high prices to them. So that helps you to price your products and also translate to how much cost you should put into developing your product or service before selling. So all these parts of the business model are interconnected, and it starts with the customer. So when you define the customer, we go to customer, then we go to the value proposition. So customer segment is number 1. Value proposition number 2. What are we offering the customer? What value are we delivering to the customer? The value that Facebook is offering is, and the value should be something that is so tangible, everyone can see it. The value is that it's a social networking platform. People can come, you get to know people, their preferences, what they like, the kind of videos they watch, what they like to talk about, things they want to engage in. That's Facebook, a social networking platform. So what value are you offering? Your departmental store, Paul, your departmental store, what value is it offering? Do you do, how do you call it? In-person delivery? Do you do door-to-door delivery of your products? Or is it solely that the customer should have to walk in and buy from you? Do you have maybe an online platform where they can order, have their things sent to them? That makes it very convenient for them. So your value proposition. What problem are your customers having that you are solving with your departmental store? What problem are they facing? And how are you solving it with that store? Then what value are you delivering? You are selling, let me look at that again. You're selling groceries. Oh, so if people are hungry, they come to you. The problem is hunger, and they are coming to you for the solution, which is you offering groceries. And then you sell electronics, and then you sell cosmetics. Okay, now let me have that in mind so that I can work on that. What bundles of products or services are we offering to each customer service? So I mentioned this one. Product bundling is one of the best ways of like selling your products. So for example, for consulting firms, we have like, maybe I will do your business systems, your financial model, your financial management system, 3 things bundled together at this fee, which is cheaper than when you want to do maybe only business planning or only financial modeling. So product bundling is like, what bundles, how can you bundle your product? The departmental store, Are you selling maybe a standardized list of groceries? You have, I don't know which ones to mention because of regional differences in the countries and what we eat. But for example, noodles, then you have tomatoes, you have peppers, onions, all put together in a bundle. So for that bundle, you are preparing, noodles for the customer. And that bundle has a price that is cheaper than when the customer is buying only noodles or only onions. I don't know if my example makes sense. It should make sense. So what bundles of products or services are you offering? And then which customer needs are we satisfying? I think we mentioned this. The need of your customer. You have a grocery store. The customer needs a place to buy foodstuff. The customer needs a place to buy cosmetics. Customer needs a place to buy electronics, phones, TVs. And you are offering that. So the customer's needs, you should define that in a more deeper way than I'm saying. And then this is what you are offering as a satisfaction to the customer's needs. That's your value proposition. Then you go to customer relationships. How are you managing your relationship with the customers? What type of relationship does your customer expect? Does your customer want you to maybe teach them how to use a product? For example, those who are in the cosmetics, the cosmetics. If I come to buy cosmetics, you should be able to teach me how to apply this, when to apply it, or how to use it, just generally, so that I don't buy the product and then don't get value out of it. So you are adding extra value of educating me on how to use a product. So now you have a kind of intimate relationship with me because you have taught me how to use the product in a different way, which maybe another store that is carrying cosmetics will not do. Then what is the cost of acquiring a customer? It is always easier to maintain your customers than acquire new ones. And that is where managing the customer relationship also comes. Being nice to your clients, you don't get angry. I mean, some people are always angry. Why are you are a business person? You cannot be always angry. You have to be nice. Is there money you want? And this is where I admire Nigerians so far. It's so much. When I go to the market, I like to go to, I have some Nigerian friends. I go to them and I talk to them about business. And their mindset about business is way different from Ghanaians, let me say. And I'm using that because I'm Ghanaian and I'm in Ghana. And one of them says that, look, for me, I don't care if you spit on me. So far as I'm getting your money, I'm good. I'm going to be smiling at you until I get your money. How do you manage your customer relationships? You have to write all down in the business model. And what is the cost of acquiring that customer? This one is usually measurable for tech people, and it's a whole lot of calculations which I don't want to go in. But your customer relationship is very important. Then the last thing when it comes to your customers is the channels. What channels are you reaching them? How do you reach your customers? Call store, how are you reaching your customers? Is your store just there that people just walking and buy? Do you have an online marketplace where they can order? That's another way of reaching them. Do you have maybe a social media page where they can order? That's another way of reaching them. Do you do personal selling, train salespeople to take your products, go into the streets and then sell, personal selling? How do you reach your customers? And now you can sell everything on social media, everything. You just need to know how to create some kind of, how do you call it? Create content around it. And then you can sell on social media. But then apart from social media, there are other ways that having salespeople go, that's the departmental, so having salespeople go, having your online platform. Those are ways that you can reach your customers. Then we go to revenue generation. How are you making money out of your business? For what value are your customers really willing to pay for? What the value, we talk about the value propositions. Are your customers ready to pay that much for the value you are offering? If Paul's store has to deliver groceries to somebody and you're charging delivery fee, which means that the price is a little bit higher, is a customer willing to pay that extra for that value you are offering? And then currently, well, how are they paying? What are they currently paying for? You're writing all that. How would they prefer to pay? And this is where another problem also comes when you go to places and they tell you, we don't take cash. Well, that is their business model. Sure. We don't take cash, or we don't take credit cards. How will the customer prefer to pay? And I would always advise that as a business owner, the customer should be able to pay using any means, whether through the bank, through credit cards, through debit cards, through cash. Now, doing business, you should be able to give flexibility to the customer to pay. Use what is convenient for them. Then we look at the cost structure. What are the most important costs that you are incurring? For Paul's departmental store, we are looking at the cost of stocking the store, your electricity, your rent. What are those costs? You list those costs. Which key resources are most expensive? In running the store, what are the most expensive things that you have to buy? What key activities are most expensive? Activities like you getting salespeople, is that expensive? So you are looking at your cost, what goes into your cost. You have a list of them. Then finally, your operations. You're looking at your key partners. Who are your key partners? Maybe you are partnering with a manufacturing company to be supplying you cosmetics on the regular. That's one of your partners, your key suppliers. Or you have somebody who is investing money into the business as a financial partner. Or then your key resources. From what resources are you getting from your partners? What resources are you getting from them? And then which activities will the customers be performing? You have to write all these down. What will they be performing? If the financial partner is bringing money, the manufacturer is bringing products. We move to the key activities. What activities go on the daily basis? What are your distribution channels? How are you going to reach your customer? Those are some of the activities you do, you partake in. How do you maintain customer relationships? And even the people you employ, that one comes under resources, of course. Then your key resources, your human resource, your financial resources, your business processes. It's all part of your resources. So those are the thing. I would have loved that we do a back and forth on this, but because there's no time, I hope that we understand this. Now, let me take your questions quickly before we close. Success. Please ask questions. Otherwise, I'll feel like I've not taught anything.
Oh, of course, you've really taught a lot. And we have a question here. I'm just really wanting, it's written in Phoenix Hot 12i. Please, if you're the one, you can rename or just chat me up. Let me know your name. Okay. So he's asking, or she's asking, what are high potential risks to consider when selecting your business model?
Yes. That's a good question. But first, sorry, John asked his question first. So let me talk briefly about business models for nonprofits. So John, whilst you're looking at these things, so nonprofits, you also have people you are serving. Those are your customer segments. Your nonprofit is serving those people. Then you also have partners. And nonprofits, you are always going to work hand in hand with other nonprofits and financial partners also. So you also have partners. Then your value proposition, there is a need that you have identified. One of the best things people are doing is running NGOs to keep girls in school by providing them pads. That is a need you have identified. Your value proposition, what you are offering is that you are using a banana stem or something for pads. Value proposition. So yes, nonprofits should be able to develop their business model based on their business model canvas. It serves all kinds of businesses. Now, some of the risks that you can look at is when you have high cost relative to your revenue. When you are developing the business model, and you see that the things that you need that are going to cost you compared to how much money you're going to make out of the business. I mean, that's a risk. That's something you should be able to balance off. Then you can also look at overcomplicating the business model. You make it so complex that it is hard for you to sustain it, or it's hard for you to scale it, like make it bigger. Don't make it very complex. Just something simple. Customer segment is very simple. How you reach them, simple. Then another thing we can look at is when you don't define your undefined customer segment. I keep stressing on this because a lot of businesses die because people don't buy from them. People will not buy from you if they don't know you, number one. And number two, if you don't know who you are selling to, you'll be selling to everybody. Anybody who is running a business and then says that my business is for everybody, I mean, you are joking. Your business is not for everybody. It's for specific people. Identify those people. If you don't identify them, that's a risk to you, because you obviously be selling to everybody and everybody will not buy. Who is everybody? Can I have the next question?
Yes, thank you. That's very true. And I'm just like thinking someone might be looking at the Uber business model and be like, oh, you said ours should be simple and this is really complex. Uber business model is a classical business model because it's showing you everything that is possible, but it doesn't mean that your business model should look exactly like this. It's just letting you know that this ad that should be in this segments. So just so someone is having that. Yeah, that question that, I want mine to be like Uber.
And also you see that Uber has been running for a while. So this is not what Uber started with. They have changed it and changed it and changed it over time. So you don't have to start this complex way. Start simple. If your business is new, 6 months, 1 year, 0 months, please be simple. Forget Uber. Uber has a business. You can't be like Uber when you're starting young. So this is just an example. Yeah, that's what we are saying.
Thank you. Okay, the next question is asking if location is a value proposition, like where your business is located at the point. Is that considered a value proposition?
It could be. It could be, depending on the kind of business. It could be. If you are the only one selling a particular kind of product in a particular location where everybody around that location comes to you, it is an advantage. And yes, it's a value proposition. It is. But it depends on your business, of course. It mostly works for product-based businesses.
Okay. Thank you so much. So we have another question from Icha Elijah, and he's asking, what are the different modes to balance the customer satisfaction and profit in terms of choosing business model? So, you mentioned something about the customer should be able to afford it, but he's talking about how do we balance the customer satisfaction and still make profits while choosing the business model?
I mean, that's a very good question. That's a good question, because a lot of business owners struggle with this in terms of, well, you have to spend more in order to serve the customer well. But it goes back to the value proposition. A customer will pay value. You know, people place value on what I don't know how to say that in English. I would have said it better in my local language. Don't mind me. So the value people place on your product is what they will be willing to pay. That's what I wanted to say. That's what I wanted to say. So the value you are offering, how you present that value. Right now, someone cannot say that Facebook is, I mean, people can say Facebook is trash, but I'm using Facebook. Facebook has offered so much value that it has millions and millions of users. If today somebody leaves, somebody will join. That's the value people have placed on it. So based on the value, you can charge high, you can charge low. But let the customer see the value. Always sell your value. Don't sell the product. Sell your value. That's how you're going to make money, the desired money from the product.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you very much, Joyce. Just one quick last one before we wrap up. So when you mentioned something about the lean startup model, you mentioned that it could be good for tech, but I see a lot of people using this lean startup model when they want to write books. Like they're writing a book and they pick out snippets from the book and they're like, oh, this is what this book is saying. They design the cover, but they've not published the book. And they're telling you, you can pay 1,500 pre-order, and then they use this money. And is that a lean startup model as well?
Yes, it is. And that one is one of the exciting ones for me, because look, they tease you to the extent that you want to buy the book. It is a marketing strategy, and a very good one at that. So if you can find a way of letting the customer know that, oh, this thing is going to be interesting, whether it's a product, whether it's a service, this thing is going to be so interesting that you cannot afford to miss it. And then you sell to the customer. Of course, thank you for that example. It's really one of those. I'm trying to copy my LinkedIn. Sorry.
Okay.
It's
Thank
one
you
of the
very
best.
much.
It's one of the best ways up here. Yeah, I wanted to share. Oh, my internet is slow.
Okay.
I wanted to share my LinkedIn so that we can have interactions there. Anybody who doesn't understand.
Okay, sure. I can, if you're not able to do that, I can still share that with them in the group. I see a hand is raised. We are really short on time. So I don't know, you can send your questions to me and then I'll send it to Joyce and she'll respond to you directly, Henry. So thank you very much, Joyce. At this point, I want to hand it back quickly to you so you can give any last words or encouragements to the participants before we wrap up.
Yeah, like I said, thank you so much for the opportunity. I would want to say that running a business is not easy. It's not a walk in the park, but it's exciting if it is something you are very passionate about, right? It is so exciting. So start small. We always say start small, and people don't understand that start small. Nobody says that. Nobody wants to believe till you want to start a business and you want to get $1 million before you start. You're never going to start. Start wherever you are, build on it, and then, grow. And the best thing you can have is having people support you. Mentorship is one of the things that really worked for me, because business is very uncertain. And if you are new to it, there are several things you need to learn from several different people who have been in it. So try and seek for mentorship from these people. And I think Wells Mountain is doing well with this program, because then it means that you have access to people, even the former people who are founders of businesses and have experience, you have access to them. And so take advantage of this, and then let's work together to build a new Africa where we are solving problems of society and not just complaining about it.
Thank you very much, Joyce. Those were very, very thoughtful and kind of you. So we have very nice comments from our scholars, appreciating you for the awesome presentation. So the questions came in later. I know you were worried that they wouldn't come in, but they came in and we even had more.
Yes.
So thank you very much. It's such a pleasure hearing from you today. I want to say thank you to all of you for attending. Your time is so precious. We're glad you joined in to hear from Joyce Azuma today. And you can still connect with her on LinkedIn, and we'll share the slides shortly in the group. All the best, and see you next week for the SWOT analysis webinar. Thank you very much, and bye-bye.
I would have loved to join that. And also, if they have any questions, for my LinkedIn is very open. They can ask me. I'll be willing to answer.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Okay.